let's talk about why paid advertising can be so hard, so difficult. It's Monday. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and I'm Roy Furr, which means it's time to open up my mailbox and answer your questions about copywriting, marketing, business building, and more. And I got a couple questions about, paid advertising. So with that, let's look at those questions. Today's Mailbox Monday questions are, and so I ask, what's your biggest challenge or question that you have? It says, the problem I have is how to increase traffic, attract people who are interested in my offer. That's from S. Another person is saying their biggest challenge is long-term ROAS, return on ad spend, over 3 to 2 on Facebook. I'm not exactly sure what they mean. $50 spend limit, and I believe that's a daily spend limit. How to write a video sales letter, text sales letter that can convert and scale on cold traffic consistently, in particular in the supplement niche, also YouTube ads, Facebook ads, funnels, upsells, etc. Okay, big questions there. And for sure, these are frankly way more interesting to answer than the latest, how can I get my first client by cold emailing question that comes in so often. If you have a question that you'd like to have answered regarding copywriting, marketing, business building, and more, check the link in the description to ask me your question. So why are all these ad platforms so hard? Facebook, Instagram, both Meta properties, Google, YouTube, we talk in display network, around the internet, all of that stuff, right? Or we could talk about ad networks. It's all kind of, it's not the same, but it is the same. It's not necessarily the platforms. The platforms make advertising pretty easy. They make it such that you could actually go in there and just set it up. And with how the algorithms work, it's not necessarily all the button pushing and all of that goes on inside the platforms. All the knobs that you can tweak to make it work a little bit differently. Yeah, some of that provides some advantages at different points in the process, but that's not the core of what makes these platforms hard. It's also not the audience. Your buyers are on pretty much every social media platform. Now, they may not be on the platform thinking about your product, service, market, whatever at that time, but they're there. They are there. And the question is, how can you pull them off of there and make them your customers? And the real reason why, and I should have kept this concealed in my notes, the real reason why they're so hard is cost. It is that it is costing you more to get a customer than that customer delivers in margin, we'll say margin, within an acceptable time frame. It costs you more to get a customer than that customer delivers to you in an acceptable time frame. And if you want to make paid ads work, this is the number one thing you need to figure out. How to get positive ROI within an acceptable time frame. So I'm not even getting specific with this because for every business it might be different. One business may decide that, hey, it's okay if we go 6 months or a year without it being positive ROI because we have the kind of assets that allow us to do that. We have the kind of runway that allows us to do that, and we just want to acquire as many people as possible, having pretty good systems in place such that we know that within 6 months, those people are going to be profitable, right? So they may run at a 60% ROI on the initial paid advertising, right? Versus 100% or trying to get 200% or whatever. We'll talk about tweaking these in just a minute too, but when you get this right, it really does change everything. If you get positive ROI within an acceptable time frame, it changes everything. Because if you're able to go into a specific market, right, or able to go onto a specific platform and know, for example, you need, you're going to be able to get $98 from this particular customer within 14 days, right? Well, that's a pretty short time window. And as long as you can acquire customers for less than $98 there, well, you're in pretty good shape, okay? So if you want to make paid ads work, that's really what it comes down to. How to get positive ROI within an acceptable time frame. how to get positive ROI within an acceptable time frame. So here's the two factors that completely change the paid ads game. One is sales velocity. Sales velocity, that's how fast you generate conversions, how fast you're generating money in the door. So if you have a 6-month sales cycle, your ROI is automatically going to be 6 months. If you can put something in front of your 6-month sales cycle so that you're able to generate positive ROI in 7 days, and then that big thing that takes 6 months to sell on average, then okay, great. You're achieving sales velocity because you're generating conversions fast. And the more of them, the better, because most of these platforms that use artificial intelligence to do targeting are looking for who converts, who converts, who converts. And so if they have to wait 6 months, well, their algorithms are not programmed to wait 6 months. Their algorithms want to know who converts within the first couple days, really. And so if you give them a whole bunch of conversion events, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 conversion events a day, they're going to be able to go out and find a lot more people like that, right? And so generating conversions fast allows you to make all the platforms work so much better. And then there's X day customer value. I have X because, for some people, they may measure it based on 7 day. For some people, they may measure it based on 30 day. For some people, they may measure it based on 365 day, right? But you want to know how much they spend over a set period of time that is your primary measurement of, the success of customer acquisition, right? And so ideally, if you can speed up the sales velocity and you can maximize the, let's say, 7-day customer value, because then the money's definitely in your account well before the credit card bill is due, right? And you're putting your media buys on credit cards so you can earn points, which is a great thing. So 7-day customer value is well in excess of the cost of acquiring the customer, and you are able to make those conversions within 7 days, then suddenly the whole paid ads game is much simpler, because anybody can push the buttons and twist the knobs inside Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, whatever ad platform. Anybody can do that, right? I'm not saying it's not a skill like that people can be better at, right? But these platforms have made it as easy as possible. And frankly, the people who are, in quotes, better at it are the people who recognize all of this stuff. They're the people that say, okay, let's put the odds so heavily in our favor by being able to convert people fast, feed a bunch of conversions into the system, and maximize our customer value within a short period of time. They're doing all that stuff before they, push buttons and turn knobs inside the paid ads platform, right? And so this isn't really like a copy and conversions problem. It's an economics and speed problem, right? If you have all the money in the world to spend to acquire customers, and you can turn that money over quickly, meaning, you have $1 out and $1 back in pretty quickly, then it's not necessarily a matter of what the conversion rate is or any of that. Yes, conversions matter. Yes, copy matters. But this stuff is even bigger, because if you can get your money back as fast as possible and your economic support just growing, then the copy and conversions are like, icing on the cake, right? So if you need speed, do this. Put out low ticket offers that give lots of conversions within a daily budget. These should be financial offers so they know who's going to show up and buy, right? And it does get you lots of buyers. And so you need to be able to feed this kind of conversion data back into the ad platforms. And if you're struggling to increase return on ad spend, meaning you need the customers to, or you need to find profits, it's not going to be in any kind of gimmick of how you write the ads or how you set up the account. It's going to be in how you maximize the cart value with offer tweaks and upsells. And I say especially upsell number 1, because that's the one that the most buyers are going to see. And so how can you tweak the offer so that people are spending more with you, right? And the other thing that you can do to maximize return on ad spend is to create something like an espresso machine offer. So this is language from Perry Marshall's 80/20 sales and marketing book. He talks about Starbucks. Normally people go into Starbucks to buy coffee, but in the corner you'll see that they have a couple of espresso machines that are for sale, and maybe one of them is a few $100s and one of them is a few $1,000. And there is way more margin in those espresso machine sales than in somebody coming in to buy coffee. And it doesn't take everyone who comes in to buy a cup of coffee buying those espresso machines for it to make a difference in the daily profit of that store. So like one person comes in and buys an espresso machine and suddenly it's equivalent to hundreds of coffee customers coming in, right? Hundreds of coffee customers. And you're not necessarily going to drive hundreds more coffee customers very easily into an individual location. But if you give an opportunity for someone within those hundreds of customers that are already shopping at the store an opportunity to spend more, to get more and different value from you, and have it be a very high ticket offer, well, that can be exactly what you need to boost return on ad spend. So Facebook, Instagram, Google, and YouTube ads or other ad platforms are so hard. Think about this. It's not necessarily your account setup. It's not necessarily your ads. It's not necessarily your conversion mechanism, your landing page. All of those may be important. And if you have bad stats on any one of them, yeah, you probably need to do something about it. And at the same time, just see what you can do by doing this, by changing up how to get positive ROI within an acceptable time frame. My call to action for you at the end of this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you get more content like this delivered to you. Ask yourself how you can use this, what is most applicable to what you are doing. I will include a link if you want to chat with me about your paid ad approach to my Fractional CMO and Copy Chief services for direct response marketers. That link will be in the description, as well as I'll make sure to include that link where I will answer your questions. So with that, I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.